Welcome back, Discipleship Group Leader. We hope that your first week went well and that this past week or in the current week that you are in, as you're starting your reading plan, that God is already using it in your life to grow you and your faith. But we wanted to spend just a few minutes together again, getting you ready to lead week 2 of your discipleship group. And we love this week 2 because it's a chance for us to hear the stories that God has woven together in our lives to bring us to the place that we are now. And so this is the week that we get to share our stories with one another and really start to build that foundation of trust and understanding with one another as we embark on this mission and on this journey together over the next year or so. And so as you prepare for this week, again, make sure that you've done the homework to write out your 10 high points and 10 hard times, and then narrow that down to the 6 defining moments in your life, and be prepared maybe to be the first one to share, to set the example for how to do this in your group. And so when you gather everyone together at your appointed time and meeting place, open in prayer, ask how everyone's week went, but then get into the sharing of the stories right away. And again, maybe you can be the one to start it, to set the stage and set the example for how this works. But then you share the story of what God has done in your life. And you share it by using the 6 defining moments that you have narrowed down from those 10 high points and 10 hard times. And so share your story with the group. Be as open and honest and vulnerable as the Lord is leading you, but really share with them how God has done a great work in your life to lead you from wherever you start your story to where you are today, and how He has used those moments in your life to shape you and mold you into who He has created you to be and who you are now, and how He desires to use you. And so share your story, but before you do that, make sure that you give everyone an understanding that this is not an hour long or a half hour long per person. We're going to spend about 10 minutes per person in your group sharing your story, and we're going to try to keep to that time frame. If people don't want to use all that time, that's okay. We just really don't want to get into every single minute detail in each of those defining moments. You're sharing an outline of your story, but as the year goes on, we'll get to know each other more and more. But this is an introduction of who we are. And so give 10 minutes to each person. You share your story first, and then go around the room and ask for volunteers until everyone has shared their stories. While they're sharing, make sure that you're listening intently, leader, giving them good verbal or facial recognition that you are following along with what they're saying. And then at the end of each person sharing, maybe ask a follow-up question that you see on page 13 in reflection to the story that they have shared. At the end of everyone sharing their story, there are some questions right down at the bottom of page 15 to reflect also on your first week of reading. Okay, you're not going through hero journals or anything like that yet, but you're just asking, how was it this week? Will this be a good rhythm in your life? Those kind of questions, check those out on the bottom of page 15. Ask those questions to get a gauge of how everyone's doing in that first week of Bible reading, and then make sure you pray together and then assign week 2's reading leading up to the next following week. And so again, if you're having any struggles or issues within your group, if you need prayer for something, if you have questions of clarification, please reach out to us. We would love to support you as this group gets off the ground. We are praying for you, and we're excited for you to hear each other's stories.